Welcome to Nameless Seraphim Gaming. In the coming months we plan to bring you content from a wide range of tabletop games, but for the next few weeks we are focusing on Mythic Battles Pantheon. And what better way to start than with the multi-headed monstrosity herself, the Hydra. Hydra Hunt is a solo or cooperative scenario from the Mythic Battles Pantheon core book. One of the most resilient and deadly monsters in the game, the Hydra will travel across the map towards the village entrance space. With only troops at her command, Atalanta must drive off the assaulting Hydra before it can exit the board, or the fate of the village will be sealed. Let's meet our combatants.
Atalanta.
Her name effectively a byword for Huntress, it is small wonder that of all the heroes of Greece, it is Atalanta who has answered the call of these villagers. The only woman to set sail with the Argonauts, this is not Atalanta's first confrontation with mythical beasts, and her balance of speed, range and defensive capabilities will allow her to fight the Hydra on her own terms.
Amazons.
As deadly as they are beautiful, the Amazons' range will allow them to strike the Hydra without ever engaging it directly. Meanwhile, their climb talent will allow them to take advantage of terrain to devastating effect.
Spartans.
Born of the line of Heracles himself, the Hydra represents a unique opportunity for these Spartans to claim a worthy death in battle. One of the few troop units in the game to possess the mighty throw talent, the Spartans are the only unit in this scenario with a chance of pushing the Hydra away from the village, buying the defenders valuable time.
Hoplites.
The backbone of Greek military might, the hoplites benefit from a number of bonuses for as long as at least 4 of their number remain on the field. Their numbers also give them resilience that their allied troops lack.
Centaurs.
Not always a friend to Atalanta, these centaurs are as much at risk from the Hydra entering their territory as the villagers. As swift as their unlikely ally, they can close with and strike the Hydra more quickly than their allies, but their modest number will leave them vulnerable to reprisal. The Hydra Hunt is a great scenario for those starting their journey with Mythic Battles Pantheon, as it reduces the number of game mechanics new players need to learn. In our first playthrough, our heroes defeated the Hydra easily. Great if you're a tasty villager, but not the epic clash that we had hoped for. So we are introducing 3 house rules to this scenario to ensure a fight worthy of legend. The original scenario rules imply reinforcements arrive immediately upon the original unit's destruction. We feel the Hydra should benefit from the devastation that it causes, so reinforcements will only arrive at the end of the following Hydra turn. In the original scenario, the Hydra will flee if reduced to 3 vitality or less. In our story, the Hydra has slain many, and our heroes will not allow it to lick its wounds and return another day. On this field, the Hydra will be slain, or our heroes will have failed. If the Hydra is reduced below 3 vitality, we will amend its behaviour to ensure it still has a chance to win the scenario. Our battlefield lies just outside the village where Atalanta deploys her troops ready to ambush the Hydra. At all costs, they must prevent the Hydra from exiting the board via the village entrance space. Careful deployment is key, as each of her troops has a different balance of capabilities and must wait in a different deployment space. Atalanta orders the hoplites to take up position closest to the path of the Hydra, with the Spartans alongside them. Most limited in terms of speed and range, these troops will need to start closer to the Hydra to have any chance of contributing to the battle. The speedy centaurs are next closest. The Amazons deploy behind a rock face with their leader beside them. As Atalanta takes up the position, there is a chill in the air, and a wretched, hissing, snarling sound. The Hydra has arrived. The heroes start with 3 Art of War cards at their disposal, as well as 3 cards drawn from the deck. In this case, a further Art of War card is drawn, as well as activation cards for the Centaurs and Atalanta. At the start of each turn, the heroes will draw a further card from their deck, in this case a Hoplite card. Seeking further options, Atalanta spends an Art of War card to draw 2 further cards, and receives a second activation card for herself, as well as a Hoplite card. Hoping to catch the Hydra off guard, the Centaurs walk to engage the Hydra and attack. First blood is theirs as they reduce the Hydra's vitality by 1.
Sure.
The defenders may activate a second unit without spending an Art of War card in this scenario, so the Hoplites move next, taking position among the ruins and attempt to spear the Hydra at range. Another point of vitality lost, the Hydra has been bloodied before it has a chance to move.
Is this the beast that mortal men fear? Pah!
But the wrath of a Hydra is not to be scorned. The Hydra moves towards the village and then, turning to face its attackers, directs its many snapping heads towards them. It cares little whether its meal be horse or man, destroying the Centaurs where they stand along with 3 Hoplites. The remaining Hoplites stare aghast as the wound their brothers bought so dearly knits and heals before their eyes. Atalanta must act quickly before her troops are demoralized and scattered, and prays to the gods for guidance. They send a Centaur activation card. Well, no one said the gods were not fickle. The price of an Art of War card grants her 2 Spartan cards, but the Spartans are too far from the Hydra to move and attack this turn, lacking the reach afforded by Hoplite spears. Atalanta sets an example herself, using her climb talent to ascend the rock face. At this vantage, her bow gains extra range and offensive strength.
Artemis, guide my arrows.
Showing her legendary skill as a huntress, her attack removes 2 vitality from the Hydra. The brave Hoplites walk into the same space as the Hydra and attack, willing to sell their lives to protect their families in the village beyond. Their strength is much depleted without their fallen brothers, but the Fates guide their spears against the odds, inflicting 2 more wounds to the Hydra. Unable to reach their prey, the Spartans beat their chests and jeer at the wounded Hydra, attempting to goad her away from the path to the village. Their plan will prove all too effective. For a moment, the Hydra forgets the plump villagers that wait beyond. For today, her meal has graciously presented itself without a chase. Slinking between the ruins, her jaws find the remaining Hoplites and swallow down a pair of Spartans for dessert. Her belly swollen with the blood of brave men, the Hydra regenerates a point of vitality. For sever the head of a Hydra, and 2 more will surely surge forth. Less than half of the troops Atalanta brought to the field yet live, but they are bolstered by the arrival of 2 more Centaurs, who take position beside the Spartan. The gods deliver a further activation card for Atalanta herself this turn, and another Art of War card reveals an Amazon activation card and another Art of War card. The Amazons rush to their commander, using climb to ascend the rock.
Loose arrows!
Following Atalanta's lead, they open fire, their arrows much strengthened by their vantage point and by their numbers. A further 2 vitality is lost. The Hydra is 4 vitality from death. Surely the fates have greatly favoured the defenders this day. The Hydra is still far from the village and greatly weakened. At this vitality, the defenders need score only a 6 to wound it further. Atalanta herself draws her bow to seal its fate.
I am mocked by the gods in my hour of need.
The Hydra tires of this game, For yet more pests have appeared close by, and these mortal men are adorned with enough sharp and pointy things to cause it indigestion. It resumes its walk towards the village, shredding the last Spartan as it does so, and regenerating a point of vitality. A fresh unit of hoplites takes the place of the Spartans, greatly afeared by the sight that confronts them. A further Amazon card is drawn, but it is the Centaurs that will take first activation this turn. They walk 2 spaces into a forest close to the Hydra's position. In doing so, they aim both to strike at the Hydra and to reduce its options should it choose to run towards the village, but their attacks fall short.
Gods, the beast's hide blunts our very blades.
Atalanta would dearly love to use her Huntress power, but doing so will leave an open path for the Hydra to run, and if that happens, it may be able to reach the village before it can be slain. As brave as any Spartan, the Amazons descend the rock face and take position in the path of the Hydra to block any possible run. Even in the face of such danger, their arrows find their mark and strip the Hydra of a further point of vitality.
Stand your ground!
The Hydra rewards the bravery of her foes with naught but devastation, entering the same space as the Amazons and striking all those around her. But the Centaur's defense is increased against ranged attacks by the trees that surround them, and they take no damage. The Hydra's Torment talent reduces the defense of the Amazons, and 2 of their number are crushed beneath the beast's bulk. Atalanta herself is struck, losing a point of vitality. Worse still, having scored a blank result on each of its attacks, the Hydra's Mighty Throw talent is activated against all 3 defending units. Atalanta is sent sprawling from the rocks, whilst the Centaurs and the remaining Amazons are pushed away from the village. Close enough to smell the fear of the villagers, the Hydra regenerates a point of vitality. Far to the south, 3 Spartans dispatched by Leonidas himself arrive on the field, but are they too late? An Art of War card is drawn and desperately spent to draw Hoplite and Centaur activation cards. The Hoplites move to the forest, striking at the Hydra with their spears and reducing it to full vitality.
Hoplites, form phalanx!
Atalanta has a narrow field of sight to the Hydra and is yet close enough to activate her Huntress power at the cost of an Art of War card. First, she undertakes a ranged attack, scoring highly enough on her first roll to do an immediate wound and reduce the Hydra to 3 vitality. Next, she walks into the same space as the Hydra and attacks again. A further wound straight away, and the potential for 2 more if she can roll highly enough from the remaining 5s. Can Atalanta finish the monster here and now? Left on 2 vitality, we have adjusted the Hydra's actions to reflect the fact that its statistics have reduced to the point that it can no longer walk or use its onslaught ability. On a roll of 2 or less, the Hydra will undertake a run action, which now consists of only a single space. On 3 or more, the Hydra will attack a random enemy in range, for if it is to return to Hades this day, it will bring with it yet more of those that have sealed its fate. With its strength finally beginning to ebb, the Hydra drags itself to the village entrance. Under the rules of the scenario, the Hydra may not regenerate if it undertakes a run action, and so it remains at 2 vitality. It's do or die for the defenders. If they fail to finish the beast this turn, there is a good chance that it will enter the village by leaving the board and slay many innocent lives before it can be stopped. The Centaurs join the Hoplites in the woods and strike, reducing the Hydra to its last point of vitality. A final Art of War card is spent to reveal 2 activation cards for Atalanta. The Huntress draws her bow and fires. The Hydra is slain, its broken body crumbling to ash before the defenders' eyes. The villagers pour from their hiding places to reward the survivors with food, wine and gratitude. Surely songs will be sung of Atalanta's great feat, but she does not wait to hear them, pausing to look across the battlefield before slipping back into the forest.
Some evil has released this beast upon the mortal world, and I shall seek it out.
We hope you've enjoyed our first gameplay video. We have more Mythic Battles content coming soon, including a video covering how the Hydra was painted, and content for other games besides on the way. So do subscribe if you would like to join us, and consider sharing and liking this video with your friends if you would like to help our channel grow. Or perhaps you would prefer to drop a comment below to tell us what you would like to see on the channel next. Perhaps the gods will hear your prayers. Thank you for watching, and until next time, work hard, play better, and take care out there.